Hello and welcome to a SyncLodge main systems walkthrough for music supervisors, visual content producers, composers, and copyright administrators. We start with the landing page, click Register, and choose from one of the 4 account types: music supervision, copyright owners, visual production companies, advertising agencies, or a musicians union. And register, you just need your email address, password, and make sure you read the terms and conditions. But we're going to log in as a copyright holder. There's the main dashboard and the main tools along the top. And then there's settings and help along the right. We're going to start with the basic tools, files. There's file storage for your sync licensing file storage needs. There's contacts, bulk import, or singular import. There's a quote request. Now this is where all the quote requests that come in are stored. You can see the date, you can see the song and the artist name, and then the status, and also who in the company has been assigned to deal with it. Go to the next page, we can see there is some that have been paid and some payment received. Paid, once you confirm the payment is received, we ask you to click the payment received button. This gets transferred over to the payment ledger for the people that are paying you to know that you've been paid. And then we have a messaging system. This is where all your communications are stored, including contracts, quote requests, and personal messages. And to compose, it works just like a normal email system. Select the contact, put in the subject, add a file. There's also a project communications element where you can choose the project you're working on, and then it tells you who else is on the project team to communicate with, and it's linked directly to the project. And there's the catalog. This is where you will see all your registered works, first of all recordings, and also works or publishing, and everything that is registered, we access this data. And if there's any that aren't in your catalog, you can exclude them. Now in projects, if you are working on a project, you can access it under projects, but this is mainly for composers working on a project. There's also send feedback and support and the terms and conditions down in the corner there. And then the help is a series of videos, how-to videos. There's also a frequently asked questions panel. So let's log out and go over to the music supervisor side. It looks basically the same with notifications, the main tools. And then in files, it's possible to share a file folder for music submission. You copy the link to the clipboard. This can be shared or emailed or embedded. There's fields that are mandatory, the name and the email address, and they can also put in their company information, IPI and PRO affiliation. When adding an audio file, you can put in metadata description and song title, performer, and also indicate the copyright authority that is held, and put in the company name. This is how it looks when it comes to the other side on the music supervisor with all the metadata attached. This metadata is permanently attached, and it's easy to add it to a project. You can just choose the project, choose the spot of the queue, and then you can add it to an already listed song inside that spot of queue, just add the audio file, or you can add it as a new listing in the playlist. You can add it and continue looking, or add it and go to the spot. Before that, let's look at the library. This is connected to streaming platforms where music can be searched for. We're going to search for Sweet Jane by the Cowboy Junkies. And there it is. And there's a few different releases. We can listen to it. I'm not going to play the sound because I don't have the sync license to play the sound. You can look at more information, and the information that's offered by Spotify is kind of cryptic, so we give an explanation of codes, and then you can see what it actually means. And then, just as in the files, you can easily add it to a project. Choose the project, and choose the spot or queue. And you can add it and keep looking, or add it and go to the spot. And there it is inside the spot playlist. And next step is to shortlist it. Yes, I do want to shortlist it. And then we can search for recording information. This is information that we access through APIs, through other databases. And you can look for details. There's the ISRC code, release information, there's the record label. Alternative titles, none. Look for the data provider, the work information of the publishing. Here's the ISWC code. Work details. We can look under publishers. There's the original publisher. Other parties. We have the rights administrator and the composer. We say, yes, we want to use this information. And we choose the companies we want to auto-populate for the song inside the project. And there it is. There's the record company. Under recording and under publishing, we see the publishers there. We've gone in a bit of a sideways into projects. I would like to start at the very top and go into the main project panel. This is where all your projects are stored with statistics. They can be viewed in card view or list view. And there's 4 different types of projects which can be filtered or sorted. TV series, brand communications, movies, and video games. Let's go into a TV series project, and this is all the information that has been put in regarding the project. And let's look at the cue sheet, which is auto-generated as each song is placed, or each recording is placed, and it can be exported as a PDF or an Excel file, and it can be also sent by email to any of your contacts, or just type in the email address, subject, and message. If we go back out to the project, we can have a look at the payment ledger, which is also automatically built in the background. As each song is placed, all the information is there. This can be sent or exported just like the cue sheet, and a preview is available to see it before you send it. And let's go back to the project and have a look at the video audio syncing panel. Play the video, and we see that the spot opens up as it plays through, which you can also just click on to open them up. And there is all the information about the spot and the list of songs in the playlist that you can choose from. You switch between the songs. You can also save EDLs at decision lists. Save as many as you want and recall them at any time. And they can also be exported as a professional Excel file for the editor. There's also an errors area for audio files and also for the spots themselves. You can click on any spot and see the information. And also you can adjust the spot. So here I'm going to change it from 26 seconds to 23 seconds. When I save it, it automatically updates the project information regarding that spot. And I can also edit the audio right inside the video syncing panel. I can change the section that I want to use. I can change the length of it. And I can also zoom right in to 50 milliseconds. So I can really fine-tune the selection. And then I can just play the selection. When I save it, it updates the usage information throughout the project for that recording. This is a creative tool that can also be used by composers for demoing scores and laying out ideas and sharing with the production team. Let's go over the other elements of the projects. There is the initial rights. You can have as many as you want, add them, add media type, add territory. We have different continental sections to choose countries from. Or you can use worldwide, universe. And there's also license duration. We have some presets, but you can just type it in. It goes to a number of months. And then the license start date. You can choose the license start date. And we have optional license rights, which work very much the same, except there is a license execution date. And this is the date that you set to be notified to opt in for the optional license before it expires. There's the project team. You can invite anybody into the project team that is working on the project with you. And you can set their access permissions. And these can be edited at any time. And there you can choose who receives the notifications of the license expiry date and also of the optional license execution date. You can also delete the member, view the contact, or send a message right through that panel. Project files are very much like in the main files, but these are just for the project, but everything is still stored in the main files. And then we have spots or queues, depending on the type of project you're working on. There are statistics along the top, and you see the information about each spot, the time segment, the type, which can be changed right here or inside the spot, and also the budget, which can also be changed. And if I change this from 5,000 to 7,000, I have to save it, and then it shows me that I'm 2,000 over the budget. So it does the math for you. Let's go inside the spot, have a look. Here's all the spot information, the start and end times, the spot type, the spot budget, and I can add a brief or I can write a brief. I can create or view a quote request for the whole spot, and there we see the playlist for the spot, all the songs that are being considered. And there's the status of them, their titles. Let's look inside this one, and we see, okay, there's the start and end times. We can open the audio file viewer and change the selection if we want to. And there we see the recording information. There's the rights owner and the information giving different data points that we collect. We don't always get all data points, but what we do get is auto-populated. There under song information, there we see the song writers, and the ISRC code is there, alternative titles, and the publisher information is there, who owns the publishing. If we go into recording, we can send a quote request to the copyright owner. And here in the project spot information, there's all the information about the project. There are certain opt-in elements that can be opted in. There's also the copyright owners, the list of all the copyright owners and their splits if the system has it. There's also contracts or deal memos that you can add to send over. We have exclusivity heads up. The music supervisor can just type it in just to give a bit of a heads up over any exclusivity. There's also the reply date and the conclude date. So these gives an idea to the copyright holder of the timeline that you're working under. And then there's all the initial rights as has been put in regarding the project. Now, but I'm not going to send that one because I'm not going to send Universal. I'm going to go into one of my own songs and show you how the quote request works. So I'm just going to send it over. And I see all the information is there, so I'm just going to send it. And I can add a message to this copyright holder. Then it says waiting for ownership. So it's already been sent over and we're waiting for the confirmation of ownership by the copyright holder. Let's go over to the copyright holder side and see what happens. So there is the confirm ownership notification. There's the split amount. If it's not correct, it can be changed, or if it's not in there, it can be added. Let's change it to 80%. I can deny it, or I can forward it to a sync administrator if you have in different territories, and I can confirm it. Okay, so I'm confirming I have the authority, and then I can look at the quote request. And there is the quote request as it was seen on the other side. I can send and export it for third-party approvals as a PDF, and I can preview it. And that's what it looks like as a PDF with all the information regarding the request. There's a new comment I can add. I can just add a comment to the music supervisor as a copyright holder. As soon as I send this, it goes directly to them and they get a message on their dashboard saying there's been a message. I'm going to accept. Again, I have to confirm authority. And there we have automatically set to send a copy of the cue sheet when the project is finished. That was Mark's idea. Thank you, Mark. And we also have the payment information, which can be bank transfer or postal check. We also have other, if you want to use other systems. And then I accept the quote request, and there I see it in my quote request list, and I can open and view it at any time. Thank you. That was a quick run through. I know it was quite quick. I hope it was okay. And if you want more information, we do have how-to videos inside the system that go through each section of the system a lot slower, a lot more detailed. And you can also reach out to me for a demonstration or just to answer some questions. Thank you.